Hello everybody and welcome back to X for the Beginner's Guide, and today we're going to be discussing things around station management and profitability. I know we've talked a lot about the stations because, well, realistically stations can earn you a lot of money, and there's a few things we can do to kind of influence it, and some things that are better than other things. Now, a special shout out to Will Wright, who asked me a few questions on my previous episode, which we're going to cover in today's episode. One of the things he asked was, how do you choose the right station to build profitability wise? Well, in short, anything that you can provide your station with is pure profit. For example, if you're getting a miner who's mining for your station and you're not having to purchase any profit, anything that basically you need to produce anything else, then it is technically pure profit. Now, there are a few other things you can do to check into that, and we're going to do that today. Is if we have a look at our station that we've been working on and we go to our logical overview, this gives you a bit of a better idea of how things are going. Now, I did make one of my miners come back early and give us some resources, so we could have a look at, you know, the kind of things that are going to go on when you actually do start getting stuff in. Now, one of the key things is trade offer prices. Now, if you look here, we've got a selection here. If we select the things that we're dealing with, these things here, we can see straight away the kind of profit we can expect to receive from our station. Now this does kind of have a impact on your profitability, so this is why I'm mentioning it, because obviously you want to make more money, you want things that are going to make you more money, and one of his other questions he's asked, and I will get onto that in a minute, does kind of reflect this as well. Now, the first thing we want to look at, we've just done refined metals, which is pretty cheap to get into. Now, the things that are going to make you the most money fastest is going to be more expensive. You know, your whole parts is a very expensive mod to get for your station. So at this low stage, you're not going to be able to get there. But fear not, we can still maximize profitability on our station and make plenty of money without doing anything at all. And there are other things we can do to make money, and this is the important things. The stations are not the only way of making money. I'm only covering stations because a lot of people have asked about stations, and when it comes to modules and stuff like that. Now, going back to what I was discussing here, if we look straight away, we got our buy and sell offers here. Now, the ones we can see is the buy offers. If you notice, the red line here is a buy offer for energy cells, because we technically want to buy energy cells, and we've set it so we don't sell it. We've got an automatic buy price which sets it to maximum, and we haven't created a sell offer. We've also got the green line, which is our ore, and that's how much that we're willing to pay for ore. Now, if you just take them two things into account, not taking into account the cost it is for your miners, not taking into account anything else like that, you can see straight away that our energy cell buy offer is about 21, 22 credits. You can see directly here, 22 credits. Our ore is 58 credits. So if we add the two together, 80 credits. So 80 credits is what we're going to spend for a single energy cell and ore. Obviously, you're not going to purchase a single on each. Straight away, we can see that we can sell our refined metals at a higher price, 206 credits. So in theory, I know it doesn't work one for one, but in theory, just having a quick glance at that, we can see that there's quite a huge profit margin here. Now, I did bring in about 400, I think it was. Yeah, there we go, were reservations. So we got about 400 coming in, and the other one's bringing in about just under 4,000, sorry, not 400, 4,000. Now, the other thing you've got to take into account is the length of time it takes to actually bring resources in. I'm using two large miners and they use drones, and they're a little slower because they're big and they use drones, but they have massive, obviously, storage capacity, so they can bring in lots at any one time. And I mentioned this earlier that we want to try and offset it, so one comes in, deposits, goes back out, starts to mine. The other one then comes in, deposits, and keeps us topped up nicely. So we're not getting this lull. At the moment, because we're starting off, we're getting quite a large lull. So you may want to consider purchasing ore to get your station going. So that's exactly what I'm going to do now. I'm going to remove the restriction. So we will purchase ore from other traders. What this does is this starts your economy going a little bit sooner, because we're going to get refined metals. But don't forget, we're saving money on energy cells because we're technically not buying our energy cells. And yes, you could argue the fact that energy cells are worth something. But the fact is your station's going to produce way more energy cells than you can sell on this map. You can have a station that just purely is solar panels, and it's going to create energy cells till the end of time, and you're not going to sell them. You're going to end up with maximum amount in your storage, and you're going to run out of space, and that's it. So my argument is are you really losing anything in energy cells? You could argue that you could purchase them because they're so cheap, but then why are you going to waste away your money? Them energy cells, even if we took, 3,000 energy cells at 20, I'm going to say 20 just to make it easy to account for, you're talking 60,000 credits for an entire container full of energy cells. That 60,000 credits is better in your pocket, and we've got a surplus of them. We've set it up so it's already delivered plenty, so we've got no problems whatsoever. So in short, this is already profitable, and I've done absolutely nothing for it. The other thing we can do to kind of help is get our station manager up a little bit higher, because his morale is good, so he keeps everybody happy, but his management skills are quite low. So just the same as you would with a pirate, so if we head back and we exit our engineering section, just like we did with our pilots, if we head to the trader's corner, and I'll do this as we go just in case anybody hasn't caught the other ones, and you do get a trader in your station, because this is our docking platform, and our docking platform comes with a trader. We can head over to him here.
Can I help?
Show me your
Here you
wares.
go.
And we can. I'm just going to buy all the seminars because we want them all anyway. We're going to collect all the seminars that we've got for sale here. And if we want to make a little bit of a buck, we can actually sell our estate kits that we've got. We don't need them. Let's sell them. So we're actually making a profit.
Good luck out there. Good luck out there.
Give me my thing. Oh. Okay, so now we've got a couple of seminars. I'm going to head on back into my turbo lift, transport room, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to go to our manager's office. Now you'll notice this little menu here is all in green. The green icons are things you own. So if you notice when we were in other stations, none of them were green except where your ship was. That's just telling you what's yours and what's not yours. Here is our manager, Vess. If you remember from the last episode, we placed him in control.
Can I help?
So we can now give him a management seminar.
Can I help? Can I help?
Maybe we won't give him a management seminar. So let's just see if it is actually using it. So let's go to our map menu. Head over to our personal player information. Head to our inventory. We've got 7 basic seminars, and looks like we've only got one star crew. So it looks like it is actually giving it to him.
Can I help?
Oh, it is. It's just not updating. There we go. It's updated
Goodbye.
now. Excellent. So just gave it a moment to do it there.
Can I help?
But he's now a 2-star manager. Obviously, we're not holding any 2-star management seminars, so we can't give him any more, unfortunately. But he's a 2-star, so he's going to now be a little bit better when it comes to terms of profitability, because he's going to look for better trades for us. It does have an impact. We can just chill out in his office, because technically it's our office. We own the place. So let's go back to our, we'll right-click, go to our logistical overview. Now, we won't see an impact here. But what it will do is, it means he will look out for the better trades. And his price fluctuations will not be as bad. I have noticed a few differences when I have had different levels and stuff like that. And you'll notice it as well in your gameplay. Again, we double check. We'll double check our budgets. And we'll just accept the estimates there. Now, at the moment, we're still refining some bits that we had that I put in earlier on. We don't really have much here to sell, so your station's not going to sell anything at this stage, so you're not going to see your profit margins. So it's a little hard to kind of determine as and when you're going to start making profit with your stations, but when it does, you will see from this chart here kind of what you're offering, and based off what you're offering, you can work out how much you're going to make. This is how you see the current profitability, which is one of the other questions that we were asked. You got your trade offer amounts, which is basically what you're offering as trade. So you're offering a buy order of ore, which is maximum there. So you got a maximum amount almost. I think you can hold 19,000. Yeah, 20,000 there. So we've got just a little bit in, so we can see that it's offering that. We're not offering anything else. We're not offering sell orders or anything like that. We've got nothing to sell. So again, you can see your things here like so. Storage levels are as they would expect. You can see how much storage you've got. And you know, you can kind of see if things are actually going, which is good. And then your management accounts, this here will start to update. So you can see the money that he's got, and you can see over the time as well. This is in minutes, and you can change it to last hour, last day, or last week. Now, this here is basically where we've issued him money. Now that he's got his money, and when you start to get the refined metals going, if you're not inputting any money into him, you can start taking money away from him, just like we did with the energy cells, and this chart will update and give you your profitability levels and, you know, how much you're earning. Remember, everything on this station is profit, pure profit. The only thing that has an effect is your drones, which at the moment he's not producing any drones. He will produce drones, hopefully. I think we've got money in for that. Yeah, supply budget. So we've got the money in for that. So he should, once we start getting parts and stuff like that, he should start producing drones automatically. As long as you've got your stuff set up there just like that, it'll do it. So once that's done and you want in a workforce or not, that has no relevance to your profit. So you want to be checking out this here. Now, some people were asking about the workforce. The reason why we have no workforce is we have no habitat set on this. Habitats are a little expensive. So if we go to our construction, our station configuration, you notice we don't have any habitat modules. If you want a habitat module which increases your workforce, which again increases your profitability, then you just go back to your faction representative that we've shown and purchase the blueprints to that. At this stage, it is not necessary. You don't need it quite now. You want to make, you know, some money. So hopefully that's helped out with the profitability side of things. Now, I was asked, are there certain modules I'd recommend? Yes and no. Energy cells are cheap and cheerful. They will always sell, but they won't sell for very much. But they'll get you going. They are, in my personal opinion, they are one of the things you need. Not necessarily on a separate station, but they're quite big, so placing them on a separate station makes it a little bit easier. You definitely need some form of that, to me personally, because in all of your builds you will use energy cells. Why waste credits? And it may sound like small amount of money that you're paying for it, but why waste the credits at all when you've got a surplus of them? You'll also sell them as well, which gives you a nice trickle of input on your trade. You won't see much from it, but it'll just pay for itself basically. I've gone refined metals. Realistically, there isn't any get module in my opinion. There are modules that make more money, but they cost more to run or they require more stuff. What I will say is you get modules that require a form of input. So for example, energy cells and ore for us. The water is obviously energy cells, I believe, and ice. You know, something that requires another form of input to produce something else, which pretty much all of them do anyway. They all have like a hierarchy. So, you know, you want your hull parts, it's going to need metals, it's going to need something else, you know, and that's just based off what you want to do. You can have you can have a look at the fluctuations on sales just by going to your map here, going to your filter settings, and you can turn it on, and you can actually set all, select all words, like so, press OK, and it's got all the words. Now what it does is it'll give you the cheapest sold words and the most kind of profitable words. If you zoom in, it'll give you ideas here. So what have we got here? Microchips, 1,090 credits per microchip. Drone components is obviously what you need for your station. I forgot here. We've got no input on these because we've got nothing. So this is what I was discussing earlier about having satellites in areas. Because we've got no update, we can't actually see what these are. So the ships that I've been placing around, I'm going to be going around dropping some satellites around, and this will give us a bit more of an update. But we can still see enough of the market. We can see that microchip sells well, scanner arrays sell well, you know, but you're not going to get to the stage of needing this. Components sell really well. You know, medical supplies are good. Advanced electronics are good. So you can see straight away, just by looking at your map, what you can sell to make money. Now you'll notice our energy cells here are selling for 9 credits. And refined metals are selling at 83 credits. So we can already see that we could probably make good money with refined metals. Ore is selling quite well. 57 credits. Someone will buy ore for 57 credits. So we could... 58 credits. What we can do is we could actually sell our surplus of ore. So although we've had it restricted to just us, and we've now released that restriction, later down the line we can start selling the surplus ore. So that's my answer to what I would choose, is basically go with what you want to do based off what the map will accept. This fluctuates all the time, so you can't necessarily guess what's going to sell well. Some things sell well all the time, some things are expensive all the time, but some things require a lot more input. So go with what you can at the stage that you're at, and hopefully you'll make a bit of money. The last thing I want to comment on is a bit of a hit and miss. I've obviously got mods for my economy, so I see my economy change a lot faster. It certainly makes a difference. I've definitely noticed a difference. Whether you're running the mod or not, war affects the economy. As you can see at the moment, we're not seeing much red, because as a generic rule, I'm allied, or at least I'm friendly with all of these factions here. That doesn't mean they are friendly with each other. Now, because I'm allied with Argon Prime at the moment, doesn't mean I can't be allied with other factions. So this boils down, like I've mentioned in the past, to how you want to play the game. I'm not a particular fan of how the Argon Prime ships look. However, because we're in the system where we start in Argon Prime, I've taken them as kind of, this will be my first area that I'm going to get friendly with. Later down the line, I may decide, you know what, Argon Prime, I'm going to start taking your stuff, damaging my reputation and causing a war with Argon Prime. That will have an adverse effect to their allies and their enemies, because they will want to be friendly with you or enemies with you. But what I will say is the Xenon is enemies with everybody, and each faction have allies and enemies with each other. There is, if you notice on the bottom left here, it will give you an update on war efforts, and you can see things through missions and stuff like that. So you got your mission managers. You can see straight away Argon versus Holy Order, Argon versus Xenon, Holy Order versus Argon. You know straight away they are not friends. And they continue warring with each other throughout the game, setting in an economy. So you can, if you want to, assist the Argon. But bear in mind, if you kill all of the Holy Order and the Argon don't have ships being destroyed, in theory, they're not going to want to produce more ships, which means you're going to possibly affect your economy. Being a neutral party can sometimes benefit you better than trying to force one hand over the other. When it comes to the Xenon, that is not the case. The Xenon will kill everything basically. So you can use that to your advantage. You can turn around and go, well, actually the Xenon are going to raid. Do we let them raid people? Do we support the Argon Prime? So what I did in one of my playthroughs, which was quite a way into it, so I think it had something like, I think it was 150 hours into the gameplay, the Xenon started to really push, and Argon Prime and the, who was it? I think it was was it Talade? Yes, it was a Talade. So Talade lost Bright Promise, Profit Center Alpha, Memory of Profit. They lost all of this section here. Argon Prime lost all of this, which they had hold of. And they were pushing into Argon Prime, sorry. So the Argon lost all that. They were pushing into Argon Prime. I built a force, which I'm hoping to kind of replicate something similar on this guide to help you all as we go through. But I basically set up a force that pushed the Xenon back. As we pushed the Xenon back, the respective factions started to replace their stations. I noticed a massive economy difference between the two times, and I was in massive profits when that happened. So that's something to think about in the future. Hopefully I've helped others, as well as the people who have asked me these questions, with some of the answers. I'm going to do a couple of Q&As.
We found something out here.
Okay, excellent. You can just do whatever you want to do with it. I'm going to do a couple of Q&As with the community now, moving forward. I'm going to continue this guide, and hopefully with the Q&As and continue doing stuff along with playing through the guide, I can answer as many questions as I can for you. Please let me know if there's anything at all that I haven't covered or that you'd like to know about. I'd rather do something that helps you rather than trying to do something that I think you're going to want to know, because, as I said, all the way through this guide, people have different play styles. Some people don't like interacting with the map. I like interacting with the map because it gives me quite a Stellaris feel to the game, but I also get a lot more interaction with the gameplay that Stellaris doesn't allow, unfortunately. I'm a big fan of the Stellaris series. I'm a big fan of any type of game like that, but I do love the interaction you get with the X4. What I am going to do, hopefully in the next couple of episodes, possibly the next one, is actually complete the story mission, because the story mission does have some impact on what we can do, and I want to cover that because there are some special things that it gives you that will help us during our playthrough. But as a beginner, it is not important, and that's the one thing I wanted to stress with this guide, was that you could literally do something from nothing. You don't need that starter mission. That starter mission is optional at this stage, but I do suggest it is good doing it. Hopefully I've answered as many questions as I can. Please let me know in the comment section if there's anything at all that I can help you with, or if you'd like something covering with. If enough people get together, I will shout you all out on the Q&A. And a massive thank you to Will Wright, who did send me loads of questions which I'm able to cover today, and hopefully I've given you some answers that'll help you. Until next time, everybody, take care for now, and I'll see you all on the next episode. Bye bye for now.